let's get this meeting started. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I am still the lame duck. Just thought I had another background, but I couldn't find it. That's why I'm late. Anyway, let me get this started this morning. Hannah?
Hi.
Who is Hannah? I should know you.
President Nancy.
Yes?
Hannah is my guest.
Hello, Hannah. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
This is
Healthcare Foundation.
Oh, good, good. Exciting.
Happy to be here.
And let's see, who else do we have? I see the lovely photograph of Miss Allison Cook, who will be our guest speaker. Edward is having issues with his internet. So he's going to try to get on, but if not, I will introduce Ms. Cook in about half an hour or so. If I don't see anybody else whose face is not familiar, so we will get started here. I do have a quote from somebody born a little while ago, I think well before we were born. His name is Euripides, and he is known as a Greek I can't even say it, tragedian. He wrote Greek tragedies. And his quote is, "One loyal friend is worth 10,000 relatives." Now, going back to 484 BC, I mean, things have not changed, although I do love my relatives, so I don't resemble that remark. We've got a lot going on with our 4th of July coming up, so I thought we'd go ahead and get started with some information, just goings on here with Lance, but let me start something right here to kick this off. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? Lance?
I need to give you sharing permissions.
You do.
There you go. Sorry, I've been dealing with my own technical issues this morning.
Looks like I just killed myself. Okay, let me see if I can do this again. So I go to share screen.
Advanced tab.
Share, advanced, and then share sound.
And then computer sound as well.
Okay. I will eventually get this, you guys. All right.
You got an hour left, Nancy.
Well, on Zoom. All right, here we go. Let's see.
And I've got my nifty scrub brush to help me scrub my back.
Can you hear it?
And I've got a big fluffy towel to dry myself when I'm done. But there's one other thing that makes tubby time the very best time of the whole day. And do you know what that is? It's a very special friend of mine, my very favorite little pal. Oh, rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Bo-bo-bo-dee-o. Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you.
All right, you guys could hear that, right?
Yeah.
You could.
Okay, I just don't know how many of you remember Rubber Ducky. Hannah? Do you remember it?
I've heard it before.
Oh, okay. Well, this was big in the 70s, at least in Los Angeles. So I just thought it would be appropriate for our 4th of July. So looks like Edward is going to join us. So I will let him do what he needs to do for this portion. But Lance, why don't you go ahead and get started? Lance is going to show us how to sign up.
All right.
Oh, I should mention to Hannah and to Allison, 4th of July is it's our big event of the year. We put on a big party on the Healdsburg Plaza, and it's free to the community. That's why I'm wearing my duck hat, in addition to being a lame duck. So take it away, Lance.
All right, I'm going to actually ask you to come back to me because I had to switch to an emergency backup computer this morning, and I need to give it permission to share the screen. So give me a sec to get that working.
Okay, so, but Edward's going to need to share the screen too, right?
He will be able to. That's
Or is
not
that different?
I just can't.
Okay, well, look, looks like Jay wanted to go ahead and start with something he's got going on. Unmute yourself, Jay. You're muted, Jay.
This has to do with the duck race, we're going to be needing 20 plus volunteers to run this thing, and the Escobar family has stepped forward to really help me out with this. There's going to be trike races, hoppy, horse, polo, duck painting, duck racing, sack races. It's all families. There will be prizes, so the kids get a ticket and they come over to the prize bench when they've won a ticket, and they can redeem, use the ticket to get swag. So we've got a ton of stuff to give the kids. Each game will be open to what my friend Bernie DeKoven, the master of play, used to say, the well-played game. And the object to make the teams as even as possible. So it ought to be absolutely hysterical. So the sign up for those Lance is going to demonstrate in a minute. The important thing, though, is we're going to have at least 20 people from the community coming in. And we tend to be very serious about performing our duties and not paying attention to our guests when they're coming to help us. So at least that's my experience in the past. We get really consumed with service and not so much jocularity and camaraderie. So I want to emphasize that we're going to have a lot of guests. I'm going to be working with Diane, I hope today or tomorrow, on the membership area where we hope to have a lot of people, kids coming to pick up their stuff. I'd like to see, instead of a sign that lists all the things we do, I'd like to have pictures of them to really promote all of the wonderful stuff that we do for the club. So I'm finally looking forward to this. I've been terrified for a month thinking about how we're going to pull this off. So it's good to get going. Thank you.
Yeah, Jay has put a lot of energy into this, as he does with the pollinators, and the games and things he has set up are going to be hilarious. So I'm reaching out to a lot of my friends who are not in Rotary to help us. So think about bringing your loved ones and not so loved ones. Lance, are you ready?
Alrighty, so I'm not going to be able to do a screen share myself because I don't have those permissions set up, and to turn those permissions on, it turns out I need to quit Zoom, and that would kill the meeting. So we won't be doing it that way, but I've set up a website called Sign Up Genius for tracking volunteers for all of the different 4th of July activities. So rather than having a dozen different sign up sheets going around, there's one URL. In addition to for the club, I'll also be putting this out to the population in general. So we'll be able to get volunteers from other clubs and from neighbors as well. Jay's going to be helping put that out, a next door neighbor and so forth. I'm putting a link to that sign up in the chat right now. Anyone can click on that and go there. Many of you have already signed up. It's really straightforward. There's just basically a calendar that shows all of the activities that we're doing, how many people are needed for each, check boxes that allow you to sign up. So you can sign up for whichever time slots and activities you want, and then scroll all the way to the bottom, hit the submit and sign up, put in your email address. That way I get notified and it tracks that you're in the system and I know who signed up for what. And that's all there is to it. Super easy, but we're definitely going to need everyone. So we've got things for cooking the corn the day before for the street corn. We've got picking that up. We've got set up for all the different activities. We've got the hot dogs and lemonade, street corn, grilling on the day, popcorn and snow cones, duck painting, the duck dash races themselves with the big flume, the trike races, hoppy horsing games, lots of stuff. The kids parade, of course, as well. Both the sign up for that as well as running the parade and managing the judging table. Lots of activities. We'll need everyone for that. Also, I will be very shortly putting out a list of stuff that we need. We're going to need a bunch of Weber grills. We need a whole bunch of ice chests and coolers. I mean, just to start with, Ed's got 1,000 ears of corn that we need to be able to keep cold during the course of the day. And of course, snow cones and whatnot need lots and lots of ice. So we'll need those things, as well as probably some people with pickup trucks to help move things around on the day of. So please send me an email or jump in the chat and let me know if you have those kind of capabilities so that we have the logistics in place. Also, finally, we need to inform all of the merchants on the plaza where we have street closures. And so I've got a notification letter that I will be finishing off today, and we need to get that out by the end of the week to all of those. So basically that's Plaza Street between Healdsburg and Center Street between Matheson and Plaza and North. We're closing one more block than usual just because otherwise they couldn't turn around because Plaza Street East is also closed. If I could get 2 other people to volunteer to take one of those blocks, then it'd just be one block. It'd be a quick and easy thing. I can get you the letter that you can I can deliver, you can print out, but need a couple of volunteers just to get those out to the merchants and answer questions about what we're doing.
I can help with that, Lance.
Awesome, thank you. That's all
Anybody
I've
else?
got.
Okay, I can do a block.
Awesome, thanks, Ted.
So is that enough for that? And when do you want to do that, Lance?
I was thinking tomorrow, but I can email you the letter, and you can do it as anytime you want before the weekend.
Okay. So basically, just get it done before Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Because the town council meeting is next week.
Okay. And then you'll let us know which block to visit.
Sure. Yeah, I'll pick that.
Okay.
Sounds
Should we
good.
tell them you are also a business owner on that block?
Not within the area.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
outside.
thought it's right outside. Okay. Okay, good. Anybody have any questions about what's going on with this? It's going to be big.
Yeah,
Bob Mosby.
it's time to do it, but I'm very excited. Everything looks good. I haven't seen any information that contradicts the state information about the opening up that suggests that seems like the only people that have restrictions outdoors are events over 10,000 people. And if 10,000 people show up to this, we have other problems.
We're heading for the hills.
Exactly, right.
Okay, let's see. Bob, I wanted to check in with you. We'll get to you in a second, Edward. Bob's ordered some cool t-shirts. When will those be ready, Bob?
Bob muted?
Bob's muted.
Okay,
Bob?
yeah.
That's
So,
better.
There we go.
the T-shirts are, have been promised to us by, June 30th. So I was hoping to have them, for our first in-person meeting, but that does not look like it's going to happen. So, they've actually been promised for June 30th.
That sounds great. I should let the ladies know, Bob did order some female sizes, so
True.
put your order in early. So thanks, Bob, for doing that. And so Edward, why don't we move to you, unless you have anything else, Bob?
No, that's it.
Okay, Bob's got the kitty parade under control. So as usual, that will be a blast. Edward,
Nancy,
you want to talk about corn?
okay. Yeah, we need volunteers on the corn, getting them prepared. Sean Shields said he'd go shopping with me. Okay, so that's taken care of. Archie Julian indicated that he believes that the community church will let him have these barriers that are post in concrete with a can and take it to his home, and he'll paint them rotary colors, but we'll probably need a couple people to help him doing it. On July 3rd, we need at least 10 people to shuck and desilk corn and cook it. And Archie came up with a good idea that the best way to cook them preliminarily is to have those propane burners that people use to fry turkeys. I believe Archie has one. Anyone have others? That would be appreciated. And then if Diane's there, let me know if the cattle at the place, the dairy, we could put the silk and the husk for them. Otherwise, I know people that have a horse ranch will take them. So that might take about 4 or 5 hours. And then that evening, some of us can take some of the items home and then set up in the morning about 7:30 at our area on the plaza. But then on the 4th, we still have to transport items to the plaza. I need at least 10 people to set up and work the course during the day, break it down and return. We still need about 20 ice chests for the corn and 5 Weber grills. And the plan is to boil the corn, put it on ice and ice chests with towels on top so they don't get absorb too much liquid. And then we char them at the plaza, and then we put the material on top to make Mexican street corn. So 10 volunteers at least the 3rd, 10 on the 4th, and I'll put an email to Safeway because the manager indicated that he and other people wanted to help too. So we'll see what happens.
This is quite an undertaking, and it could be a first. And I really appreciate, Edward, all your effort putting this together. I know it's been a dream, a vision. So I mean, I've got a few people already ready to help with that. So we'll get it done. Please take a look at that sign-up sheet that Lance sent the link over, because that shows all of the help that Edward will need on the 3rd as well as the 4th. And okay, let's see. Any questions?
One last thing, Nancy.
Yeah.
Doug, will the community church loan us tables for the corn? I'll need about 4 or 5.
Archie's talking, but he's muted.
Okay, well, that's one thing too, that I could save some time. All right, I'm done.
We can definitely check with them. The fly in the ointment this year is that July 4th is on a Sunday, and there may be demand for some, if not all of the tables at the church. So we may not have our usual quota. Archie, do you know anything more about that?
There are 5 tables that are reserved for the church on Sunday. The other question I have is we often get the tables from the Catholic Church, and I'm wondering, has anyone talked to the Catholic Church to see if they would provide the tables?
I've engaged with Will to talk to them, but I don't think I've heard back. So I have a note to chase that down today.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, if Catholic Church has probably 10 times the number of tables that the community church has, so if we can get them all in one place, it would be a lot easier for delivery and pickup.
Good point.
Plus, it's a lot closer.
Yes.
Okay. I think that takes care of it for now, for what people had for 4th of July. Any other questions? Because I'll go ahead and move on with the rest of our meeting. Lance, I wanted to share screen. Do I go back to I go back to basic to share something, right? Let me get this going. Andy, I wanted you to just talk a second. Is my screen, am I sharing?
No.
Looks like a lame duck.
Okay. You know, I'm going to be so glad when I'm not doing this part of it. Get so
Now be able to share your screen. I made you stop sharing audio.
I want to just share the screen part. So if I go back to basic, right?
Yep.
Am I sharing now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Andy, do you have a second to just talk about these the photos I'm showing?
President Nancy, yes, be glad to. I think this is one of the things that I mentioned in the Interact Club recap for this school year. The officers did a great job, showed a lot of initiative in getting projects together, and this was one of them. This was called porch visits. They worked with, I forget the lady's name from the senior center, and they organized visits to some local seniors and that hadn't been out because of the pandemic. So they just went out and spent some time on porches or back decks, just hanging out and talking.
There's another one. Yeah, it's really sweet. And then this last one is the initiative the kids took to, I'm sorry, the students took to donate to Reach for Home, right?
Exactly. This year, besides the fall drive to put care packages together, President Chase also worked with Margaret, the executive director at Reach for Home, and asked them what they needed. And Margaret said they needed first aid supplies for their new first aid tech when she goes out to visit the homeless. So Chase put together another drive, and the response, as usual, was incredible from the community, from our club. We even recruited Dr. Vargas, a local doctor who provided us with a lot of supplies. So Margaret and her team were really happy to receive that, in addition to the check, which will also be used to fund that emergency first aid tech that's going to go out to visit the homeless. And just so you know, that picture is not representative of the club, because we had a lot more people volunteering, participating in the Zoom meetings. But when we went live, some of the students that chose to stay virtual were not able to attend the meeting. So we lost quite a few in the transition to the live meetings.
Okay, well, thank you. I just, you had sent me these photos a few weeks ago and I hadn't had a chance to share them. And I just wanted to do, and, really thank you for all of the work you've done this year with the Interact Club, you and Chris. It's amazing what you were able to pull off with the conditions we were under. So thank you, Andy.
Pleasure.
And Chris. One other thing, I was on the phone recently with a woman named Ellen Barnett. She's a retired physician here in Sonoma County, and she's working with different organizations on disaster preparedness. And I'm going to send this information to everybody, but you can see this community organizations active in disaster. This website helps groups get together and form their community. I know Diane and Edward have done this for their part of West Side Road. And so anyway, I will send that to everybody soon. And I'm going to stop sharing that. And let's see. Okay, announcements. I just want to mention really fast, I don't know if you saw the Healdsburg Tribune this week or last Thursday, but there was a great letter to the editor from Dr. Pyle about the 4th of July. And so that was great representation of our club. And then a big ad by the Drew Esquivel Memorial Golf Tournament Committee, thanking all the people who helped sponsor. So that was huge as well. So thanks, Doug and Andy, for getting that in the Tribune with our logo and our group being mentioned.
I should mention there is going to be an article in the Healdsburg Trib in the next couple of days talking about the 4th as well. I did an interview with one of the reporters there.
Exciting, hitting it every week. Okay, President-elect Larry Mills, who's weeks away from taking the gavel. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
I asked for like 2 minutes. A couple of things. One, this past week, I attended the 2021 virtual Rotary Convention and went to the general sessions. I didn't go to that many breakouts, but I went to the general sessions and it was quite a show. They really put on an excellent presentation. It was somewhat like entertainment. We had, it was colorful, it was lots of action, and we heard from the new Rotary International President, Shekhar Mehta from India, who is an impressive fellow, and I'll have more about that later. I also wanted to report that I'm continuing to make calls to members of the club and some emails, but mostly calls to determine what people want to be doing in the coming year and try to fill out the committees. I'm asking each member to commit to at least being on at least 2 committees. That's not been a problem. Most people are quite willing to do that. If I haven't talked with you yet, I'm assuming you're going to continue to do what you're doing. If you have a burning desire to do something different, you can contact me and we'll accommodate that. There are a number of other developments at the Rotary Virtual Convention. There are lots of comments about being flexible and considering hybrid meetings. We are not on that program right now. We may want to revisit that. I don't know, but apparently a lot of clubs are doing hybrid meetings, part Zoom and part in person. So we may want to take a look at that. And there's also a lot of encouragement at the convention about taking advantage of district and global grants. And there's been some activity on that front locally. I'm working with the Noon Club representatives to put together a possible joint request for a district grant I think I'll withhold the details on that at this point, but it appears that's coming together very nicely, and the board will consider that at the board meeting at the end of the month. So that's about enough for now, unless people have questions for me.
Hearing none. I get to ask you in person next week, Larry. So
I'm
save
ready.
those questions. And I see our my good buddy Bert Terreri somewhere. There you are. Bert, did you have anything to talk about this morning for the debunking? Bert, you're muted.
I figured that out. I'm a little slow this morning, apparently, but I did figure out that I was muted. Thank you. So good morning, everybody. We are going to be doing the debunking in person on June 25th. That's a Friday. And the debunking will be at our home. It will be maybe a little less formal than some in the past, but I'm sure everybody will have a good time. I do need some volunteers. I will be sending out an email through Club Runner. I'm going to need help on the afternoon of the event just to help do some setup. And I probably could use a little bit of help from a few other people before then, just doing some of the logistical things that are required. But I think we've overall got it under control. And there's some contributions that I'm going to be looking for from some of you regarding the program for Nancy that evening as we kick her out of her position as president. Yeah, there you go. And then, so anybody who's interested in volunteering that day and giving a hand, that would be great. Also, one of the things that I'm a little unclear on, because I haven't done these before, is where, if there's any wine storage anywhere that the club has that we could use for the event, and some of those types of things. So anybody who has some of those logistical details, please reach out and let me know. But we're excited to see everybody on the 25th. I believe we can have people start coming over around 5:30 in the evening. It's usually mostly shady by around 5:30 or 6. And we can accommodate everybody, but I do want everybody to RSVP within the next week so we can make sure we have our food arranged, okay?
Thanks,
That's it for
Bert.
me. Yeah, thank you, Nancy.
We get to see the beautiful work Bert and Jen did getting ready for the wedding a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the bocce court is in, so be ready to, play a little bocce if you want.
All right. Let's see. Okay, really fast, Archie, do you have anything you want to mention about our meeting in person next week? Woohoo! Archie, got to unmute. I'm going to get one of those electric prods, like they did in the movie Ghostbusters.
You wouldn't be the first woman to want one of those. Anyway, I haven't talked to Will, but I think everything's on track to have him serve breakfast next week, and we'll see what happens and go from there.
Great. I think it'll be we have hot breakfast, right? It's not
Yes.
just continental. Okay.
Right.
Thanks, Archie. Just a couple things. If you haven't read that long letter I sent out a couple weeks ago, I'd appreciate it if you would, just to kind of set the tone for what we're looking at for the future. President-elect Larry could change things a little bit going into his term, but at least it's what the board kind of set up for the oncoming year. I think that takes care of that. I just wanted to recognize a few people. No, no pressure here, but Archie and Sue, June 19th, are celebrating how many years, Archie?
50.
50?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
She's a saint.
Well, you have a wonderful wife. So congratulations. That's a huge milestone.
She's the best woman I ever married. So I will put $100 toward the club.
Aw. Well, are you going to celebrate? Like that's a big milestone.
It's hard because she's got elderly relatives up in Eureka that she has to be there to help. But we'll figure out something to do. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Okay, well, we will congratulate you, whatever you do.
Thank you.
And Lance and Barbara, they have an anniversary on the 20th, right?
That is correct.
You guys going to do something fun?
I think we are. It's like 28 years. We're planning on having dinner at Bocce and just having a nice evening out. We were thinking about going to Valette, and so we tried to make reservations. So we're going to Valette in August.
Oh my God.
But, so we'll put $100 to the Club Foundation.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a big month for you guys with the birthday and the anniversary. We have a lot of birthdays this month too. Fred Walter, who's not here with us, I had music for him. Dan Erickson's birthday is the 20th. Diane Booker is 21st. I'm just going to read these all and then you guys can jump in real fast because we're running out of time. Dan Erickson is the 20th. Diane Booker, the 21st. Jack Valerga, the 26th. So I think he's 91 this year. Is that right? Because we celebrated his 90th last year. Steve Ruitt is the 27th. And his wife, Sonia, is the 28th. It's a lot of birthdays. So happy birthday, everybody. Anybody want to say what they're doing? What are you doing, Dan Erickson? After you unmute yourself.
I'll start by unmuting. I think we're going to go kayaking and then probably have a barbecue with my son because it's also Father's Day.
Oh, that's right. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, all you fathers. Diane, are you listening to us?
Yes, good morning. I'm here.
How are you celebrating your birthday?
Well, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're doing just going out to dinner and celebrating Father's Day and my birthday. So it should be nice. Yes.
Well, happy birthday, young lady.
Thank you. And I'm also going to Bocce.
Oh. Nice. You guys might see each other. All right. Let's see. What time is it? I got time for a quick musical moment. Hold on. Here's a strange one, folks. You
gotta share your computer audio again.
Oh, geez. I swear to God, I'll get this right someday. All right, hang on. This isn't it. Hang on 1 second. I have to skip the ad. All right, here we go. Oh no. Not it. Sorry, guys. I'm failing here.
Was that the song?
No. I'm failing. All right, here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato, and today's Everything Music. It's the
next week.
Next week. It was such a weird song. I had to play it. All right, I'm sorry. I've wasted all your time, your precious time. we're going to do some music next week, Lance. You're going to have to help me with this because I've got a few people left whose songs we haven't played, and they're all on here, and I wanted to share it. So anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time with my my ineptness on Zoom. So I am going to now turn it over to Edward, who's going to introduce his lovely cousin. Are you still on, Edward? Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Nancy. Today's speaker is Allison Cook. She has ties to Healdsburg. Her dad grew up on West Side Road on a ranch with Allison's great-grandmother. She is the current Miss Oregon USA representative for 2021 contest, and she works for GE Healthcare, travels the country training medical professionals on fluoroscopic X-ray equipment. She's currently in Boise right now for this talk. She graduated cum laude from Oregon Tech, and she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in radiologic sciences. She is a former collegiate volleyball player at Oregon Tech and enjoys sports by refereeing basketball and volleyball. She suffered numerous concussions and advocates brain injury awareness. She enjoys traveling, modeling, playing the violin, and living a healthy lifestyle. All yours, Allie.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. And I have a presentation prepared that I'm quite excited to share with you. So let me see if I can pull off the share my screen here. Let's see. Is my screen?
Lance was having issues.
No.
You should be able to.
Let's see.
There you go.
Great. Let me see if I can get this full screen. All right. How are we doing? Can you see that there?
Perfect.
Wonderful. All right. Well, good morning. Like Cousin Ed mentioned, my name is Allison. I've titled my presentation Life as Miss Oregon USA through Miss America, Miss USA, and Why Pageantry Matters. My grandfather actually was the one that lived in Healdsburg, and it was on my mother's side. So that's kind of my tie to your area here. So just kind of a basic introduction. I've had quite a career in pageantry. I started when I was in college. These were kind of the three main titles that I've held. Back in 2013, I was crowned Miss Oregon and went to compete on the Miss America stage. A few years later, I competed at another international pageant as International Junior Miss Oregon in 2018. And then most recently in March, I was crowned Miss Oregon USA 2021 and will be competing at Miss USA Live in November. So a little bit about my pageant history and why I feel like it's important to chat with you today. I have held 7 pageant titles amongst 3 different organizations. Through pageantry, I've earned over $37,000 in scholarships and won multiple local, state, and national awards. I've had the opportunity to perform in front of crowds totaling over 14,000 people. And while at Miss America, we had a TV viewership of over 8 million. And then I had to include the first pageant because, of course, now it would be quite an outdated dress to wear. But my first pageant was way back in April in 2012. So who is a pageant title holder? These are a few core tenets that I think would make you a great pageant title holder. You have to be a brand ambassador for the organization that you're representing. Next up would be your servant leadership. It's very important to be community minded and lead a lifestyle that others are interested in using as a model. Public speaking is very key to what you do. You have to be able to perform on stage, be comfortable in front of people, as well as be a big social media content creator, especially in the digital age. It's quite crucial that you can portray your message on a digital platform. What does it take to be a pageant title holder? These are a few main tenets that I think are crucial. And the first is discipline. With pageantry, to prepare for the different phases of competition, which I've kind of listed here, it's very important that you practice and train to portray the best version of yourself. And with that, you must be flexible. Most of us are not working for their full-time job as a pageant title holder. And so you're learning time management skills and balancing life, school, work, exercise, and all of these other public appearances and engagements. You must have perseverance. Most of us are not lucky enough to win on the first pageant that we've competed in. I've taken a few first runner-ups, fourth runner-ups, and had a few just phases of learning who I am and how to be successful in this industry. And then last, but probably the most important, is you must have a positive attitude as a pageant title holder. A few of the areas that I've had extensive training in, as well as other pageant title holders, would first and foremost be interview and public speaking. I could not even begin to tell you the amount of interviews that I've had on local and national scales, as well as just learning how to publicly speak at schools, businesses, and other public events. The next one would be physical fitness, a commitment to living that healthy lifestyle, whether it's working in the gym or fueling your body appropriately. Some pageants, including Miss America, have a talent competition. As Cousin Ed mentioned, I am a violinist. And so it's interesting to see what different women choose to portray themselves. Some as music, some like to do a monologue, and I've even seen art, roller skating, baton twirling, and you can twirl guns too. So we've seen it all on the pageant stage. With your stage performance, you need to come across as somebody who's confident, poised, and has grace. And then the last one here would be your content creation. Again, social media is so crucial to get across some of the messaging with different organizations. The easiest way to be a successful pageant title holder is by having public appearances. And so I had fun picking out a few of my favorite events over the years. I'll kind of go across left to right, just to give you some examples of what a public appearance is. On the far left, there's working with local fire department, working with different local charities such as Best Buddies. I've had the opportunity to play the national anthem to open the Oregon Jamboree, which is one of Oregon's largest country music festivals. Supporting local businesses. Here I'm pictured with one of the Roloff family members, as Roloff Farms from TLC is actually based in Oregon. And then other community events. I've been a part of dog walks. The one with the owl is actually my college mascot. We had a pink out night for breast cancer awareness. Working with children at different hospitals, supporting community events such as the Tulip Festival. And last but not least is working with our veterans and pairing with different organizations in that way. So let's talk a little bit about the Miss America competition. The Miss America mission here is empowering young women across the country to the best that they can be through leadership, talent, communication skills, and smarts. Back when I competed, we emphasized 4 different points of the crown. These are 2 of them. I mentioned with scholarship, over my time with Miss America, I earned over $37,000 in scholarship, which actually enabled me to pay for my last 2 years of college. And that's where I graduated with my baccalaureate degree in radiologic sciences, which has now led to quite a successful medical career. The next point of the crown would be style, how you're presenting yourself to the world in all different fashions, not just in beauty, but in your career and supporting other people in that. The last 2 points of the crown would be service and success. Again, having a community mindset, working with children, local organizations, and doing what you can to make a difference in the communities that you live in. Last but not least is success. And I chose to show off just a few of the different phases in the Miss America pageant at that point in time. We had to do a public introduction on stage, as well as a speech at the opening ceremony. There was a lifestyle and fitness portion of the competition, evening gown, talent, and then we had a very large parade known as the Show Us Your Shoes Parade. And I chose to wear a dress full of Tillamook cheese wrappers to support our dairy industry here in the state of Oregon. Most recently, I've been part of the Miss USA organization, and some would say those are the two most popular pageant organizations that you would see here in the US. Both are televised and both have very significant networking opportunities for the women that participate. With the Miss USA organization, their branding is a little bit different. They pride themselves on being an inclusive organization, supporting women of all cultures and backgrounds, and empowering them to realize their goals through self-confidence and creating opportunities for success. It is an organization that is run by women and for women, and it has multiple different speaking opportunities and event opportunities in order for us to show how we're breaking stereotypes in our own way. So probably the main point of this presentation, why are pageants relevant? These are three phrases that I think are very important. The first is encouraging people to be the champion of their life. So many of us are overcoming difficulties, especially in a COVID season like we've had the past, goodness, year and a half or so. As you're overcoming these difficulties, it's easy to struggle with your mental health and find yourself isolated. What I have loved about pageantry is it's given me a platform to share my story with others, my story of overcoming 5 traumatic brain injuries, and hopefully inspire others to take the reins on their life. Be your own advocate in your healthcare and making sure that you're living a healthy lifestyle so that you can pour into other people. The next tenet I've listed here is our Oregon state motto. It's actually Elise volat pour prix, and that means she flies with her own wings. As a pageant title holder, we are traveling all across our state and even across the nation to work with these different charities, organizations, and businesses. And so it encourages me to invest in myself while I'm investing in other people. And that's truly just been quite a gift. Last would be life is the sum of your choices. That was kind of a famous saying by Albert Camus. And I like that because each day we have the opportunity to make a better choice than we did yesterday, a choice to get you where you want to be in life. And so if you focus on your end goal every day, being disciplined and making those choices, you will really make a difference in your life and the lives of so many other people. So what has pageantry done for me? And I think this is another reason of why it's relevant. Educational support. Through the scholarships that I've earned, I've been able to get my bachelor's degree in healthcare, leading to my career. So now I work for GE Healthcare. I am a clinical imaging specialist, and I travel the country teaching people how to use surgical X-ray equipment. I was the youngest person ever hired for this position. I'm the only one that holds this position in the state of Oregon, and I work on a national team of roughly 60 people, primarily covering 13 states. I guarantee you that I would have not had this position had it not been my training in pageantry, just learning how to be flexible, speak and present to different groups. The opportunities that I've had in modeling have been incredible. I've been on runways across the state of Oregon. I've been involved in different print ad and even some commercial opportunities. I'm looking forward to see what's to come in the future. Mentorship has been incredible, both on the receiving end and being able to be a mentor. Similar to what you do with Rotary Club, you're able to meet people and network, as I have listed underneath there, that will get you where you want to be. And it's just that chance to give back and invest in others, as well as receive that. I've had many people along the way that have helped me in different phases of competition or just learning how to be a better person as a whole. That social presence, again, is so important, whether it's through LinkedIn networking, video content like this, presentations, and social media truly is going to be the direction that we continue to move forward as we return back to normal. The performance aspect of having the confidence to be able to get up on stage in a swimsuit, which can be quite controversial, in front of 14,000 people in-house. I work in surgery most of the time, and I'll tell you what, because I have gone through what I have in pageantry, in that swimsuit and heels, I'm prepared to stand in an operating room and tell a surgeon what to do so that our patients are taken care of appropriately. And so that's really the life application for me of why pageantry matters. again, that volunteering, travel, the physical accountability for my fitness, as well as just all of the self-development opportunities are why pageantry is relevant and still important to be encouraging our young women to be participating in. Just a few final thoughts here. One of my favorite quotes here: life is an accomplishment. Each moment has meaning and you must use it. It's very cliche, but you really do only have one life, and there are multiple ways that you can spend it. But I would hope that by using your gifts and your talents to invest in other people, you will be so enriched and you will change the lives of so many if you just decide to make that decision and do something about it. That was all that I had prepared about my pageant journey. And so this is just how you can contact me if you'd like to know more. I'm available for any sort of questions. Those are all my social channels. And I really appreciate your time. I know the biggest question that I get asked is just the relevancy piece. You know, why is pageantry important? And I hope that this might have provided some examples through the scholarships that I've received, the mentorship opportunities, and the personal growth. I don't think pageantry will be going away anytime soon, and I'm looking forward to the opportunities that come in the near future. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to see if I can stop sharing my screen so I can actually see you all a bit better. There we go.
Allison, that is quite inspiring. And the last part of your presentation made me think we should adopt that for Rotary. I mean, you hit on all of the the important aspects of community service and just really getting outside and doing things for our community. That was lovely. I'm sure there are questions. Go for it. Jump in, Dan.
So in the old days, you would be the representative from a city in Oregon and then go to the state competition. Did you come up from a particular city in Oregon? Do they do that these days, or is that different now?
It depends what organization you're a part of. So originally when I competed for Miss America, my college town was Klamath Falls, which is where I was living. And so I earned the title of, Miss City of Sunshine was my first title to compete at the Miss Oregon pageant. The way that Miss Oregon USA works in my most recent future, you would submit an application and be awarded a title. And so I was awarded the title of Miss Rose City as I've lived in Portland for the past 6 years. So I served as Miss Rose City. I did some appearances and then was able to compete at the Miss Oregon USA pageant representing the Portland area.
I wish you were here in Healdsburg. We would have you lead our kitty parade.
Oh.
Those are the kinds of things we now, not to say that this is even close to the same scale, but we used to have a Mr. Healdsburg.
Oh, how fun. That's
and wonderful. He would join us and lead the parade, but the accomplishments and the reasons for being given that title were not nearly what you've had to go through or what you have gone through to achieve this. There must be some more questions here. Oh, Dan, go for it.
So years ago, miles away, my mother was a chaperone for Miss Oakland at the California pageant. Uh-huh. And so is that a part of the structure these days, or are you all on your own?
When I went to Miss America, we had chaperones. And so I would anticipate that there's something similar going to Miss USA. And having a chaperone is probably one of the greatest gifts. Again, with that mentorship piece, just having somebody else to call. As of right now, I would almost consider my directorship group, which is called Pageants Northwest, as kind of our chaperones as they assist in our booking and speaking engagements. as well as just sourcing different opportunities and making sure that we have the sponsors and resources that we need to be successful.
I am wondering how you work with young girls to inspire them.
One of my favorite organizations based in the Portland area is called the Curvy Chic Closet Foundation. It's not just young girls, but they do have a lot of young participants. It's a plus size fashion community. And what they do is they hold a yearly, or actually bi-yearly, fashion show, giving people the confidence that they need to be able to walk a runway. And so I'm one of their model boot camp coordinators and helps prepare them for that event. I also, as Cousin Ed mentioned, am very passionate about athletics and refereeing. As a former collegiate athlete, my job now as a high school and college referee is to create a safe playing environment for our young athletes and hopefully encourage them to keep that healthy lifestyle and know that they can remain involved in the sports that they love even long after their days of playing are over.
Yeah, that's great. I used to get so inspired seeing the young women out on the basketball court reffing the games. And now they're out on the football field. I mean, we've got women in NFL and Major League Baseball too. So, and I think the NBA has some female refs, right?
Yes, the NBA does. And I think a big part of that, it's just trying to do it so that other people know it's possible. It doesn't have to be a male, female, or a gender-based thing. It's just having those opportunities available and proving that, women in general can work just as hard to get themselves a seat at the table.
Right. Inspiration. All right. Does anyone else have a question for Allison, Miss Oregon? Well, Allison, this was lovely. And I really appreciate your joining us today. And Edward, thank you for bringing Allison to us. Allison, Rotary International has been supporting the eradication of polio since the 80s. And every month we get a notice that this year we've had no new outbreaks in the few countries that are left. And so as our parting gift, we are going to make a donation to our Polio Plus effort in your name. And thank you so much for joining us today. So you will help eradicate polio.
Oh, how special. Thank you so much. And again, I know all of you have taken time out of your busy schedules. Thank you for your commitment to your community, for what you are doing for polio. And I just encourage you, keep those mentorship opportunities. People like me who are trying to make a name for themselves, we really need your connections. Everybody has their own area of expertise. And I just want to encourage you to keep sharing that because you really are making a difference, whether you hear it or not. So thank you for what you do, for your time today, and for the generous donation. I'm very grateful for your support.
And good luck to you. We hope you can come back and keep us in the loop on your progress. It's very exciting.
Keep your eyes open. The date of Miss USA is actually the Monday after Thanksgiving, November 29th. To our knowledge, it should be on television. The last I heard, it was going to be on the FYI network. But I'm sure pass some information over to Cousin Ed if any of you are interested in tuning in.
Yeah, that'd be great. You will have a lot of cheering going on from Healdsburg.
Thank you. Thanks again for your time.
You're welcome, and thank you. So let's see, we have a few more minutes. Let me see if I can try my music thing again. Hang on. I know you guys are bearing with me. You're so wonderful.
If you're a man over 50 who suffers from arthritis, you need to see this.
right, we're getting there. Okay, this particular song does not want to let me in, so I will have to try it next week. Let me do one more here. I practiced these last night too. Okay. Failed again. There we go.
Hear that lonesome whippoorwill. He sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long.
All right, are there any guesses who loves that music? Nobody. Come on, dig deep. It's going to be, I know this is not a real obvious one. Does the person who likes the old country twangy sound, do you want to mention who you are? If this person is listening, his reputation as the baker for the city of Healdsburg. He might be driving his children to school right now. Will, are you listening?
I am listening. Nancy. Yes, I do enjoy some of the old country music.
All right. I just had to
Very
give it
good.
a shot. All right. Thanks, Will. All right.
You bet. Thank you. Great meeting too, by the way.
Thank you. Hang on. All right. We got another one. I don't think I've played this one before, but if I have, forgive me.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band, and now the company.
All right. Any guesses on that one?
I guess Jack Valerga.
No, Jack. Good try.
Lee Morton, he was singing along with it. I saw him lip those lyrics.
Good guess, but no. Did that person leave our meeting? He may have left that, but he got frustrated with my lack of skills here. That would be Ted Calvert. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. This last one where I keep failing. You're all so patient with me. Okay, I'm going to move this down a little. Here we go.
In the shuffling madness of debt. Oh, it feels a test and scraping, steam breaking on his brow.
All right. Any guesses on that one?
How about Bert?
Nope. We had Bert last week. Let's see. Bert was American, Young American last week.
It was a great guess, though, because that was one of my absolute favorites in college back in the 70s.
Can you even, the name of this song is called Locomotive Breath. I mean, I know the singer, but I never heard that song. Okay, nobody else ventures a guess here. This is our own beloved Chris Call, a Jethro Tull fan. Did I get it?
Jethro Tull was one of my first concerts that I attended, so this has a lot of good memories for me.
That's nice. I used to work for a radio station in Eureka, and they played such like middle of the road music. And I used to get this call from this guy all the time. Can you please play some Jethro Tull? So I was not in charge of programming, so I could not help him with that request. Let's see. Thank you for your contributions on that, everybody. Terry's not here. Anyway, so I think with that, I am going to beg you all to join us next week in person for our first live meeting in over a year. You don't have to dress up. I actually have a special guest showing up next week. She was supposed to be here this morning, but prefers to join us in person. So I'm very excited to bring a special guest to our meeting. We're gonna have a hot breakfast. I think, Diane, did you want us to wear jester hats? Is this a jester hat event?
Sure.
Yes, please. Jester hats. I'm trying. Yes, jester hats next Wednesday for when we get back together and celebrate some new members.
I think we're going to have badges for people, right?
Yes.
Some badges.
And pins.
And pins.
And pins and hats.
So what time, Nancy?
Well, what time did we used to meet?
We would start gathering around 7 and you'd ring the bell at 7:15. So
well, allegedly I rang the bell. I never rang the bell in live. So yes, that's correct. I get to at least one meeting, do it the way it used to be done. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
I have an important question about next week. Does anybody have the key to the storage locker on the porch at Taman? Oh, good, Dan. Couldn't locate that. We wanted to get in there and see what the heck is in there. We haven't been in there for months.
I've got a spare that I can share with somebody.
Nancy and I are going to go look at that sometime before next week. So thanks. We'll get the key from you.
Yeah, and Dan, you're helping set up, right?
Yeah, I'll be there early to set up. Anybody that wants to come and volunteer and help do that is welcome.
Okay.
I'll probably be there, I don't know, 6:45.
Okay. And if anybody wants to bring their golf clubs, maybe we can go play some golf afterwards. Oh, we get a reaction from Lee there. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming to our last Zoom meeting, and Allison for a lovely presentation and opening my eyes anyway to the intricacies of pageantry. It's very impressive. So everybody, let's get our signups for 4th of July. Please go onto the link that Lance shared, and we will go ahead and email that to everybody as well. And please, please, please bring your friends and family to help us with this event. So with that, I will cut you all loose and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hannah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.